I think it's safe to say I'm slowly falling in love with the thiefication in Dragon's Dogma 2, especially when playing solo without support pawns. Let me share my build with you. Check the description for timestamps and other information. The first weapon skill we have is Skull Splitter, perfect for hitting hard to reach places, or building up a lot of elemental damage very quickly. It's overall just a very reliable and powerful skill to use for bosses and harpies. Next, we have Formless Feint. This skill will gradually consume stamina while it's active. However, it will automatically evade any and every attack that would be dealt to you. For its entire duration, you are for all intents and purposes, immortal. If you are spamming weapon skills during this time, your stamina will drain very quickly, but there are things we can do that will allow you to have essentially infinite stamina, and we will touch on that shortly. Our next skill is Draw and Quarter. I love the brutality of this attack. There's just something about climbing onto a monster, getting to its weak spot and running your blades through it. It also does a ton of damage. You can definitely one-shot certain bosses with it if you use it properly. Now we come to the bread and butter of our weapon skills, Blades of the Pyre. This skill hits ridiculously hard, can be activated quickly, and has a ton of knockdown power. The catch? Well, you set yourself on fire and damage yourself. However, you can completely negate this negative effect so long as you have Formless Feint active. That's right. The automatic evade from Formless Feint also triggers when you activate Blades of the Pyre, meaning you will never burn yourself so long as you use it within that window. This all requires a lot of stamina, however, so we will be focusing our augments and equipment on maximizing our stamina, allowing us to have Formless Feint active almost indefinitely with the right conditions. Voracity from rank 4 Magic Archer restores 10% of our stamina whenever we defeat an enemy. It goes without saying, if you're getting swarmed by a horde of enemies, you will essentially have infinite stamina to maintain Formless Feint. Lethality from rank 8 Archer increases our damage on enemy weak points by 5%. Gratification from rank 4 Thief restores 4% of our grey health whenever we defeat an enemy. You won't be taking damage so long as you have Formless Feint active, but as a solo player, it's nice to have some degree of healing without curatives in case you get caught off guard. If you find this unnecessary, I would probably replace this with Dominance from rank 8 Warrior, a 15% knockdown power increase. Dynamism from rank 9 Warfarer reduces the effect weight has on your movement speed by 1 bar, meaning if you are lightweight, you will move as if you were very lightweight. Heavy will move at an average speed. You get the point. I am, however, unaware if this has any effect at very lightweight. If you don't have Dynamism, then you can use Thew from rank 6 Fighter instead. Zeal from rank 6 Warfarer reduces the stamina cost of weapon skills by 5%. While this doesn't sound like much, this really does add up. Though, if you don't want to use this, I would also suggest Athleticism from rank 9 Mystic Spearhand, which reduces the stamina cost of dashing by 10%. Lastly, I take Endurance from rank 4 Archer. This increases your stamina by 150 points. I was considering using Exaltation from rank 9 Mage instead of this, but after I did some testing with Rings of Quickening, I was expecting the stamina recovery speed to be worth considering, but it isn't. I'll save that discussion for the video description. You're here for my build, not my rambling after all. For your equipment, you can honestly use whatever you want. Defense doesn't matter in this build since you have almost 100% uptime on Formless Feint. However, while the armor isn't as important, the weapons certainly are. I would still suggest dwarven smithing for the weapon, as the additional knockdown power is just way too important to pass up. But maybe use Batal smithing for the armor. Dwarven smithing increases the weight of our equipment while massively increasing knockdown resistance. But since we don't need any knockdown resistance, it's better to just keep the equipment light. I know I went against my own example here by having dwarven upgrades on my armor, but I'm a bit of a tight ass and didn't want to waste a fairy stone when I was already upgrading my weapon here anyway. Speaking of weapons, the Heaven's Key daggers are a really good choice for a solo player. You don't need to worry about using tomes to enchant them. They have very high magic and physical damage. The holy damage is also a nice touch for exploring the endgame. But, well, since you only unlock these in the endgame, you can use the frosted edges until then. As always, I will link all the equipment in the description. Last and not least, I use 2 rings of momentum. These increase our stamina by 150 points each, bringing us to over 1650 stamina. Though honestly, it may be more worthwhile to use just one and pair it with a ring of triumph. You only lose 50 stamina, but gain 100 health and 5 extra carry capacity. You could even use 2 rings of triumph if you like. 1500 stamina is more than enough stamina to take out any boss in the game by spamming weapon skills, and you'll be constantly recovering stamina to fuel, wait for it, you guessed it, formless feint, while you slay the countless enemies you'll run into. I know, right? Man, take a shot for every time I said formless feint in this video, and you'll have more poison in your body than one of those stupid-ass purple lizards in Batal.